Thank you for watching the video all the way through and learning all about 3D printing. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it really helps us grow. Destroy that like button. Ask any questions down in the comments. Basically what we're going to be doing today is setting this up and doing our first build with the Ender 3 Pro, which is your budget printer that can print a lot of volume. It's got what we call, or what we, I'm already in the 3D printing game now. I created my first 3D print, so now I get to say we. What we in the 3D printing game like to say is, this video will take you through a couple crucial steps of 3D printing. The first, how to set up a printer. The second, how to know what kind of printer you want and the options of filament that are out there. The third thing that we're going to do is level the bed, and I'll show you how to actually get that done in a very simple way using just a piece of paper. And then the final thing we're going to do is print the benchmark of 3D printing, which is Benchy the tugboat. I will share with you that this has been a fun process along the way. I hope you get a lot out of this video. Please like and subscribe. This really helps us grow our channel, and it really helps us share the message of learning, making, and sharing. One of the reasons I want to share this video about 3D printing is I think 3D printing is somewhat of the future as the machines are getting better. This is going to help a lot with our woodworking and then any other ideas that we have at all. I think that in the future, you're not going to order stuff from Amazon and have 8 people have to interact with your thing to get to. You're going to download the file and have your printer down in your basement or wherever it is print the thing for you. It's only going to get easier as the machines get better. My shout out to YouTube for allowing someone to self-teach. I could sit in a classroom for 8 hours and watch a guy teach me 3D printing via a book, and I would learn 1 hour's worth of useful information for me personally. The first thing I'm going to do is find a decent video with a high amount of views that has this exact model being set up by somebody who seems to know what they're doing. I like to watch a few of them, and I like to get a few different viewpoints from different people so I can take that and make it my own style based on their principles, and that way if some of them are a little wacky or different, I don't have to follow them verbatim. I kind of have a general understanding of what needs to be done. There's a funny line in Sopranos where Tony Soprano is with one of his Gumars and she pulls out his gun from his ankle and she's like, "Is it loaded?" And he's like, "There ain't nothing more worthless than an unloaded gun." I always laugh about that, but I kind of take it kind of practically in other senses. And one of those is it makes no sense to buy a 3D printer if you're not going to be printing and getting a lot of plastic. And if you buy in volume, it's cheaper anyway, so go big or go home. And this isn't even that big. I mean, this is $86 off Amazon. PLA filament. I was buying a white one, just a white spool to test out, and it was like 20 bucks. And Dina, I asked Dina, I said, "What kind of colors do you want?" She pointed out one that was like a 6-pack, and it was 86 bucks. And I did some quick math. I'm like, if I got 6 for the same price I'm getting the white one, it'd be 120. I'm like, no. Canceled the white spool for 20 and just got these 6 colored ones. Which, after some research, seem to be the most popular and the most useful for what I'm doing. That is your decision to go with whatever kind of filament you want. ABS is probably the second next choice. My understanding, it's rougher on the edges and it's more useful from like a constructive purpose, so it's like stronger. Each one is individually packed. I'm just going to open up a couple more of these because you can see the blue is pretty cool. It's like a little royal blue. It comes individually packed. There's a little silica packet in there, which is pretty sweet. Let me see, let's find a bright color here. You can see the red one's pretty bright. It's pretty sweet. Looks like there's going to be a lot there. I don't know what this turns into be volume-wise for a project. One thing I think I'm going to try to print is the boat. There's a tugboat that I guess if you can print it pretty well, it's a good test of your printer skills. Might be a little challenge to print the boat. I think it's called Benchy. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the workbench down here to accumulate our parts and set them out and kind of figure out what each one is. We've got some instructions, it looks like, and then we're getting into things that I know nothing about. What we're going to do now is actually set up a YouTube video. The last part of the setup, which is the TV on the Gucci Black & Decker stand, so that way I can have it close. I know that they do like voice and stuff, but I'm just late. I'm just weird, like old school in weird ways, and the voice always messes me up, and I feel weird talking to robots. I don't want to just break something on accident because I'm in a hurry. So I like to be methodical in these, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's what we're going to do. Now I know what my goal is to get this thing flipped over so I can adjust the bed and make sure that it doesn't wobble. I've already had to make a small adjustment. We're going to be making the table out of MDF board. It's just way flatter, and it's clearly obvious as we take the step-by-step that leveling is going to be important to make these builds important. When you're adding layers of plastic down on stuff, it needs to be leveled. Alright, so he said knobs, and I thought he meant these, and he might have, but there's knobs right here that allow you to level the thing. Pretty close. Not gonna say a P word though. Alright, so there are like differences here. So one of the things is anytime you notice they're not the same, you gotta figure out why. And make sure you don't just put them on haphazardly even though they look like the similar pieces. I'm going to do my best. I don't think I'm going to give you bad information, but I might miss something. So one thing is just make sure that you do keep your instructions, because that's going to be kind of your go-to if you have questions. And as soon as I looked at the instructions, it told me exactly what I needed to know. So I'm basically combining somebody else doing it, because I am a visual learner and a hands-on learner, and then using my visual, like keeping the instructions handy, because that's just a yadoy. Like, why wouldn't you want to keep the instructions handy? So, thank you, Mike, for teaching us all something that's really obvious. Get the fuck back to work, sir. this switch right here needs to be set to American voltage, and it comes standard as set for European and Asian voltage. So that means just taking something and moving down the notch, and the instructions just say move it to your local. It was something I also probably wouldn't have thought about or looked at. I might have skipped over the instructions, so it was cool that he said it. I'm going to take that as my first takeaway, other than basically what he's doing step by step, which is cool too. Alright, so let's get back to it. Always make sure that you jostle and toss the sensitive equipment around as much as possible for durability testing purposes. That guy tightened the bolts the smart way the first time. I should have just paid attention. What the hell? And you don't even know, like, just to let you know, like, I am such a newbie. I spent like 5 minutes messing with those bolts. And I thought I had it. You won't see that much time because nobody wants to watch me struggle for 5 minutes. Maybe they do, but the fact that I just wasn't paying attention and it cost me 5 minutes is not really a big deal, but it just it shows me, like, sometimes even though we think we're smart, we're not always thinking the best, and we should stay humble for that reason. So back to work. Thread is like a bolt, and it needs to go into this so that way it can go up and down on the y-axis. Oh, I just used a 3D printing term correctly. Hell yeah. Whoa, buddy. It's lighting up. That means something. Something's happening. Oh, buddy. Sweet. Alright, so I've been spending some time getting this set up. I'm excited that it started the first time. I don't know what that means for the overall success of the mission here, but dude, I suck at camera. Come on, man. Alright. There we go. Alright, so it started, it looks pretty awesome actually. That wasn't too difficult, just kind of follow instructions and watch YouTube. Bust out some filament. I have no clue where this goes though. Are you upside down? You are upside down fully. Son of a bitch.
I'm going to rotate this around a little bit for a better view.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what the hell.
So as we rotate or as we push it,
Oh, that's stupid. It looks like on this USB stick there's some software and everything that comes with it, so I'm just gonna screen record so you can see me setting it up, because this is definitely part of the process and I don't see a lot of videos showing you the computer side of it, so I'm gonna try to catch that and then we'll go from there. Okay, so it's not that hard, just downloading. I can't help but explain like the side of like, hey, when we're older, we should all have a hobby, and I think this is the first time in life I've realized, like, I can really enrich my life just by being excited about new things. I mean, the 3D printer sounds random, but now that I have it and I've taken some time to set it up and I'm getting into the software side of it, I'm like, man, this isn't really that hard. It's not undoable. It's a couple $100, yeah, but what am I gonna do, like, creatively, and what kind of outlets am I gonna have for this? I'm getting a lot more out of my creative side by allowing me to just find this kind of stuff. Alright, so I inserted the SD card after I transferred the 3D Benchy file over. You have this little menu here. There's a knob that you basically click down. The one guy called it a fun wheel, so I think that's probably the name I'm going to call it. You use the fun wheel to get around, basically, and it's pretty straightforward. It is saying bed heating right now, and the SD card's in, and it downloaded right off Thingiverse that way, which I think, if that works, seems pretty cool to me. I'm just going to leave it alone because it's starting to move on its own, and I touched it, and now it's like setting itself up. I'm going to try to get this down here close. So the printer stopped, so I think what I'm going to do is try to use a scraper thing to get the Benchy off there. It seems like it's stuck, which I might have made a mistake. We'll see what I can figure out here by myself. Seems pretty solid. Hope I didn't fuck up by doing this on my table. Definitely gonna put something down next time, because I think I did fuck up. Or, I think I messed up. Cut. Beep. But, it looks cool. Pretty excited once I figure out how to get it off here. Ooh, I'm fucking... No pressure on your shit. You don't want pressure on it. Oh, buddy. I might have did it on the wrong thing. Oh, cool. So, this model is super cool because this pad comes off. It's just magnetic. And because it comes off, it just means you can bend it. And that means that it just comes right off. I was starting to scrape it, as you can see, and that's not what I needed to do. So let me put this cool thing back. Let this thing chill out for a second. Oh, it's so cool. It's all magnetic. That's so dope. So let me turn this off. You can hear it a little bit back there, but it's not super loud. As you can see, we got our Benchy, which is essentially the benchmark for 3D prints. It's got what we call, or what we... I'm already in the 3D printing game now. I created my first 3D print, so now I get to say we. What we in the 3D printing game like to say is, when you start out with a raft, they call this the raft. This is pretty firm. This will work for most uses, for like jigs and stuff, little handles and what have you in the workshop. Well, heck yeah, it's been a full day of kind of doing this, getting this all set up, running the first print. and I hope you enjoyed kind of the more novice first day ever with a 3D printer. Pretty cool. More to come. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. We really appreciate you, and we will make sure that we keep putting out great videos of learning and sharing as we continue this process of me leaving my corporate job and trying new things until I figure out what makes my heart smile. You all have a great day. I love you, and thanks a lot to everybody who's helped me along the way. Matt, Dina, I throw it out to you and the family. I couldn't do this without my brothers and my dad and my mom. You guys rock. Thank you all for my aunts and my uncles who have thrown the support in as well. Again, like and subscribe. It's been a journey, and this is only day 50. This video that you're watching is actually day 19 of Gallagher Brothers Creative. This right now is on the day 50. So we are moving along. We are progressing even in our lighting. You can see we made a table, which we'll share as well. I hope you all enjoy, and keep learning new things. Be humble and enjoy the rest of your day.